Hey, my name is Kyle Miller, and I am in the Arctic Circle of Lapland, and I have been working on an igloo empire that you can see over here, and people have asked that they'd want to take a tour, so come along and I'll show you what we got going on. So the first thing that you may notice about this igloo complex is it's rather tall. So a cool thing about this is that you've got your first floor here, and then you have a second floor on top of this. So from the side you can really see that you've got 1, 2, 3 separate chambers over here, and you can tell that, especially from this height and this height, they grew as time went on. So with the two biggest igloos, I built ramps to get the snow up onto platforms that I had already built up that were 4 feet, 1.5 meters tall before I even started building the igloos. So I decided the best way to do that was to build a nice gentle ramp that would take snow up into these. We have built a chimney on the side of it so that you can integrate it with creating fires inside of your igloo. Now I'm going to take you on a daytime and a nighttime tour of the igloo. So this is the first room, and as you can tell, it's pretty crammed. It's very small. I call it the crystal room because you can't really tell right now, but the surface hoard crystals offer the contrast of both the warm and the cold, make these beautiful crystals on here, which is the reason I call this the crystal igloo. As you can tell, it was my first piece of work, so it was okay. But let's take you further into this beautiful labyrinth and I'll show you the next room. So this takes you to a junction room. So as you can tell, there's 2 separate doors from here. We've got the original door that we came in from, and we've got a separate door heading this way, and also a separate door heading this way. It's obviously illuminated because we put Christmas lights into the actual igloo. It's very interesting because the weight has created a bend in here. Now these were actually blocks that came together, but it's unified kind of like a glacier, how it's swooping down in one uniform block now. So I put these structures on the side to make sure that it holds up the weight, but it seems to be doing well. So I think it's time to head to the next room, which is over here. Now this takes you to the third room. Now this room is big enough for me to stand in. And another cool thing about this room is you have that fireplace that I was showing earlier. So you can have fires in here, have the smoke go outside of the room. So as you see, it's expanded over time, but I keep this ice that I've gotten from the lake on top of it just to keep this, kind of to have a layer to keep the heat inside while it's not being used. Okay, so now that you've seen the third room, it's time to go check out the fourth room. So, back to the second room. So here is the fourth room that I've set up, and actually it's the second igloo that I built, and it's got a spot big enough for somebody to sleep in, and it also has more than enough benches. So now you can kind of see the final and fifth igloo is upstairs. So as you may be able to tell, it's quite roomy and comfortable up in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait till nighttime, and then I will take you on the nighttime tour of this igloo complex. So now we're gonna take a tour of it at nighttime. Here we go. Oh, as you can see, I have a fire pit in here. As you can see, the beauty of the Christmas lights. So I hope you've enjoyed